It was the final day of group play for Group A. Both Serbia and Lithuania had games. What happened? Let's find out. You're watching CS 105.1, where I talk about sports with good vibes. Let's get it.
Let's try to get healthy. Let's stay together. And if we can do that, we'll put ourselves in a good situation.
How's it going, everyone, and welcome. I'm CS Chandler here for another take of Europe basketball right now. So we had Lithuania and Serbia both having games today. One good, one bad, but both were really tough. Very tough matches for both teams. As we already know with Lithuania, with Jokic out, they were going to struggle no matter who it was. But they luckily squeaked out a win, whereas Serbia gave up a win. So we'll get into the Serbia game first, because that's the one I got up right now. And essentially, it started off kind of more or less even, and actually the entire game was very even between both Serbia and Turkey. And this was really, I think, the story that was being told of this was Jokic versus Şengün. And that's kind of the story whenever those two players meet, even though like Şengün has already verbally come out saying that he idolizes Jokic. And so to have people like glazing Şengün for everything that he's doing, he's essentially just copying what Jokic does all the time. And so I'm not really so impressed with what Şengün does, because we see it all the time from Jokic, plus better. So, but that's just me. I don't know about you, but that's just me. I'm not very impressed with Şengün. He can have some nice plays now and then, but when you're a copycat model of a better product, I'm not gonna be very impressed with you. So the good thing was that Serbia did win the tip in this game, and they did get the first bucket. Jovic got the first bucket with a driving layup to the rim there for 2, and then Turkey actually kind of struggled a little bit to get their first bucket. Jokic got the rebound from their miss, but then Serbia missed a shot as well, went over to Turkey. Turkey got their first bucket, and whereas Serbia had their first bucket being a driving layup, the first bucket for Turkey was a 3. And that was a big issue throughout the entire game, was Turkey nailing down threes. They killed Serbia with their 3-point shot making. Luckily, though, Serbia did answer back. Marinkovic answered back with a 3 from Larkin's 3 there. But then it was kind of a little battle back and forth, and Serbia had a good lead before Turkey took a timeout, and then Turkey went on a little run themselves. Jokic obviously was still in there and holding his ground. He had a turnaround jump shot for 2, get the lead up to 2 for Serbia, and then Şengün answered back with a 3. This is like I said, the Turkey's 3-point shot was I think the deciding factor, or at least one of the deciding factors of shutting down Serbia overall. But they tied the game, and there was a lot of tied moments in this whole game. I didn't really get to watch it. I watched a lot of highlights again. Very excited for NBA regular season when I can actually watch the games. Although we're also going to be dealing with a lot of this stuff right now too, because of all the different platforms that NBA wants you to watch games on, and the crazy expensive increase on that. It's just going to be very difficult to watch games. So there might be a couple games where I'm watching highlights and recapping highlights. So if you are a fan and you follow me, I definitely appreciate you sticking with me through these tough times here of not getting able to watch the games. It's such an expensive hobby to get into, being an NBA fan, right? So moving on here, There was a lot of battling back and forth in the first quarter here. Turkey went on several runs, and despite going on runs, Serbia held with them. Maybe it was like by like 6 points or whatever, but they held in. I don't think the lead ever went to double digits for either team, really. But Petrusev actually had a really good first quarter. He hit several buckets. He had a lot of tough and ones. He had 5 points in the first. Jokic had, Jokic only had 4 in the first. So, say that what you will. And then we get into, step back real quick. So the first quarter ended and Turkey won by 1 point, 19-18. Then we get into the second quarter. And the second quarter, Turkey starts off with a 3. Like that, this is what I'm saying. Like this was the entire story for Turkey. They were just nailing down threes. Guduric answers back with a 3, but then Osmani answers back with a floating jumper. And then Stefan Jovic gets in a 3, but then Osman answers back with a 3 himself, just kind of keeping the lead where it is. And then Larkin gets another 3, so they get back-to-back threes. Milutinov gets a dunk that was really awesome during all of this kind of chaos of these nonstop threes that Turkey was raining down. And then we saw Nikola Jokic get a 3. That was also nice. Guduric gets a he did a tech foul shot because I think it was either the coach at this point. I know the coach gets a tech and Şengün gets a tech. And so I think this was the first one. Guduric shoots it, makes it a 2-point game. They're only down by 2. But then Larkinen comes in with another 3. It was just crazy. It definitely felt like you were watching a Nuggets game versus, I don't know, like the Rockets or the Thunder or something, like every time the Serbian team would get close enough, they would fall back on the defense and allowing Turkey to get up like back-to-back buckets or big buckets. And so there was, Jokic had a couple more shots made. He was the Serbians' top scorer today. And when you look at the overall box score, it's actually kind of sad that he didn't really have a lot of help as per usual. I mean, sometimes he actually does have more help with the Serbian team when he's playing than he does with the Nuggets. But even so, like you'll see the box score and you'll watch the game as well over the entire thing, and he just dominates most of it. And everyone just kind of sits back and they just let him kind of do his thing. But it's not sustainable, as we've already seen. It's not sustainable. So the second quarter here ends with free throws from Stefan Jovic. That actually allows them to claim the lead. We go into the half, 49-46 Serbia. They actually win the second quarter, 31-27. So then third quarter starts. Turkey misses their shot. Jovic draws a foul and an and one. They get the lead up from 49 to 51 there. And then Jovic gets a 3 off, surprising. So that they did get the 3 off. But then back-to-back buckets from Turkey. Osmani gets a layup, and then immediately after that, Şengün gets a 3. And then Marinkovic gets a 2 on the fast break turnover. But there was a lot of turnovers from Serbia as well. That was one thing. I didn't really go over that in the last 2 quarters, but there was a lot of turnovers. And shortly after this, then we get a turnover from Jokic. He got a turnover. And then immediately after that, it leads to a 3-shot from Turkey. Luckily, Jokic answers back with a 3 to hold on to the lead because their 3 had a tie game, and Jokic was able to break the tie, make it go up by 3. And then Larkinen gets fouled, goes to the line, hits 2 free throws, and immediately after that, Jovic misses a shot, leads to Turkey on the rebound, and Osman hits a 3 to get Turkey up. And so then again, it goes back and forth a little bit. We're hanging around the 61, 62, 64, 62, 64, 64 even. Şengün gets another 3 to break that section. And then Jokic gets a jump shot to decrease the deficit there, eat into it a little bit more. And because then Turkey opens up a little bit more of a lead by 6 with back-to-back buckets there, back-to-back 3s actually, Larkinen, then Şengün. So Jokic gets a bucket, gets it down to 4, and then he gets another bucket, gets it down to 2. And Şengün gets another a bucket himself, driving layup. Just kind of holds on to that lead until let's see here, and until it was Petrushev got some more. He had a turnaround jump shot that kept it within a 2-point game there, and then the third quarter ends on a free throw as well. I think that So that's where the Şengün tech happened. He gets teed up at the end of the third. Rinkovic shoots the bucket, but Turkey still has a 1-point lead at the end of the third, 74-73. And they actually won the third 28-24. And so then we get into the fourth quarter, and there was actually a part of the fourth quarter. Well, actually, no, let me back up real quick, because the big thing that I did not agree with, and I was like, what are you talking about here? Or what are you doing? Is that they sub out Jokic at the end of the third. Jokic is the only factor holding Serbia together. And there's a minute 23 left in the quarter. They sub him out. And the only answer is that, okay, they're going to play him in the fourth. And they do, but still, like, it's a minute 23, like, keep him going, get the lead, start the fourth with the lead, man. And so then the fourth starts, and it gets started off with a Larkin 2. Guduric answers back with a 2 to keep it a 1-point game. And then Guduric actually gets a free throw. He draws the foul because that was a and 1. So he gets the free throw, makes it an even 76 tied game. And Jokic was able to break that with a dunk. Now, this was the play of the game for Jokic, was this left-handed dunk that he does over, I forget who, I think it was Osmani. Yeah, it was Osmani. He got this dunk over him. It was nice. They have highlights of it if you can check it out. And so that's, I think, the turning point in this quarter, or at least it looked like it was going to be the turning point, because Serbia started to gain a lead after this. Guduric got a 3 off, followed by Dobric got a fast break 2 turnover from Osman. And then Jokic gets a 3, makes it a 4-point game. But then Şengün gets a turnaround jump shot, cuts it down to 2, and then it kind of starts to get eaten away. He gets another 2, keeps it a 2-point game. And then Hazer of Turkey gets a 3-point shot to gain the lead for Turkey. This is at 2:12 left in the fourth quarter in the game, really. And I think that was the moment that Serbia lost it, was when he gets off that 3. Because then, like, Jokic gets a bucket, get them back up by 1, but then Şengün gets fouled, makes both buckets, and immediately after that, Larkin gets fouled, makes both buckets. And so that's a 3-point game with 15 seconds left on the clock. They draw up a play. Pešić draws up a play for Jokic, obviously to get the 3 ball off. And unfortunately, Jokic isn't able to. He is heavily contested, and the shot doesn't even look good from when he throws it up. It hits the rim still, but doesn't bounce in or anything. Şengün gets the rebound, and then they go to the free throw line, makes 2 more, and unfortunately, Turkey does win 95-90. The fourth quarter, they even won 21-17. So Turkey wins. They win the first seed in Group A. Serbia is the second seed now. And the silver lining is that Serbia is not out. This was group play. This is not elimination. The elimination starts on Saturday. So there is still a chance for Serbia to win the gold, win this whole thing. They just really have to buckle down, and they are losing players. So Avramovic got out. He, I guess, hurt himself. We don't know exactly yet what he hurt, but he checked out of the game. And so there was no Avramovic towards the end there to help out. He only played 9 minutes tonight with 5 points. But Jokic had 22 points in 32 minutes, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 steals. The second best player on the team was Guduric with 12 points in 24 minutes. But Turkey, man, when you look at the box score for them, so Şengün was the leading scorer of the night, unfortunately, with 28 points in 36 minutes. They played a lot of Şengün. He barely got rest, and it didn't look like it really bothered him. So he got 28, 13, and 8, a near triple-double. And then the second best or highest scoring player was Larkin, who actually played the most amount of minutes of any player at 39 minutes. He made 23 points, 2 rebounds, and 9 assists. And then you had another player of Osman with 33 minutes, 16 points. So you had 28, 23, 16 with Turkey. Serbia, you had 22 from Jokic, and then you had 12 from Guduric. Not enough. So the big takeaway here that I have from this game is just that Serbia's defense was struggling, especially with Şengün. They weren't really ready for the game. And it even looked like Serbia didn't want to win the game as much as Turkey. Turkey definitely looked like they were ready and wanted to win this. Almost like you could say that like Şengün wanted to beat his idol, and it meant so much to him that he was wanting to crush them. Whereas Serbia was just kind of like, meh, I don't care. Sure, take this one, little brother, kind of thing. Like that's kind of like the vibe it kind of felt like. They could have won the game. It was a tight game the entire game, as I just recounted. But in typical Nuggets fashion, like I'm definitely linking Serbia and Nuggets here because they definitely felt very similar. Is that in typical Nuggets fashion, Serbia let it slip in the final minutes. Like they had the lead with like, what was it, like 2 to 3 minutes left in the game, and then they just let it slip with getting opened threes, back-to-back threes to Turkey, and then fouling them. Like, if you want to lose a game, that's the best way possible. Give up back-to-back threes and then foul the team afterwards as well. Like, just try to give them as many points as possible, and there you go. Like, that's pretty much what happened. So, but it was also Turkey scored easily. Like that was another thing, was that just the defense wasn't felt. Turkey didn't feel the defense from Serbia. They scored easily, and then on the other end, they made Serbia really struggle to score. Like whereas Turkey scored, it looked like the defense wasn't affecting them at all. Serbia looked like every bucket was a difficult shot for them, and they worked very hard. So there was definitely a difference there. Serbia's defense didn't challenge Turkey at all. Serbia also had too many turnovers. created from bad ball handling. There was a lot of that too. So a lot of mess ups, and maybe it's just also they're tired. That does happen when you're playing consecutive games. And especially, I think that back-to-back really killed them. So we'll see what happens in elimination, because now the stakes are really up and can't afford to have these kind of games. You definitely got to play harder. So Turkey will be facing Sweden, and Serbia will be facing Finland in the first game here of elimination play. So you have Jokic versus Lauri Markkanen. We already saw how difficult it was for Lithuania to go up against Finland. It will be definitely a challenge for Serbia, especially when they have guys getting hurt left and right. It'll be fun still. And the cool thing here is that I did say that Lithuania won. So Lithuania won today against Sweden. They won 74-71. And I'm not going to really recount it because I didn't really too many highlights right here. So I'm just and I wanted to focus more on Serbia. But essentially, Valanciunas had a good game. He had 18 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists. So he had a great Nuggets backup center game again. So this is what I'm saying. This is what we should be expecting in regular season, is for him to have amazing games and then for him to have shit games. He got the 2 shit games out of the way. Now he's back to having a good game, and we'll see what happens in elimination play. Good production from Valanciunas today, as well as Vletka, who had 14, basically 14, and then there was 13, and then 12. Tubulis had 12. On the Sweden end, their best player was also at 18. So that was Larsson. Larsson had 18. So both Valanciunas and Larsson tied at 18 points. The quarter, Sweden won the first quarter, 21-14. Lithuania won the second quarter, 19-18. And then Lithuania won the third quarter as well, 21-14. And then the fourth quarter, 20-18. But it was a close one. They Sweden regained the lead and like 2 minutes left in the game. And luckily Lithuania was able to bounce back and seal the win. But it was definitely a tough game for both Lithuania and then Serbia. Glad to see, Valanciunas win, take home the W there for Nuggets Nation. At least one Nugget won today. And big thing there, just as kind of what I've been saying, you got to have help for our big men. And whereas Valanciunas is not Jokic. Jokic runs the floor. He is pretty much the plays are get the ball to Jokic and he will decide. With Valanciunas, you kind of have to basically help him out when he's being guarded and slowed down. You have to have some speed in there, whether it's Murray or Brucey B. There might be even a good scenario where you have Christian Brown helping him out. I don't think that someone like Zeke will help out very much in that. Peyton Watson, I don't think will be a good pairing with Valanciunas. As much as we would like for that to be, I don't think he'll be a good pairing. And then I don't think Strother will be a good pairing with him. I definitely don't think Pickett will be if you put Pickett and Valanciunas together, you are asking for a very slow game. And I don't think any of us want that. So I would definitely stick with Murray or Brucey B, really being the two go-tos to play with Valanciunas. And then everyone else is just kind of, added dressing to everything. But pretty much Valanciunas, you need to, in order for him to do well, you got to give him more players to help him out. Otherwise, if he gets slowed down and then the rest of the game or the minutes that he's playing are just going to be for nothing. And so I don't know if we're going to get a game where Jokic and Valanciunas are playing together, on the court at the same time. I don't think that there's going to be a lineup for that. because he's our backup center. He's not our 4 or anything, Like, I know he can play a 4, but I honestly don't think I would want him to play a 4 right now. I think he should be just focused on being the backup center. Be the best backup center to Jokic you can possibly be. And if you do that, you have done your job. And then just rely on the others to be the 4, or the rest of the team. So, have Gordon stick with being the 4. And the same thing with P-Watt. P-Watt should be sticking to just being a 4. And then I think the ones that you could go in and out of being a 4 or a 3 is Tim Hardaway Jr., maybe Cam, but I would probably still keep Cam at the 3. And then probably, Zeke could be a 4 or a 3, but I think he's best suited for a 4. And then trying to think who else. Hunter Tyson, when he's playing, he can be a 4 or a 3 for sure. Though I do see him best as a 3. And then I think you can have Strother bounce between being a 1, 2, or 3. And I think there are several lineups that have Strother being a good 3. And then obviously there's also Deron Holmes. Deron Holmes is a great backup 5 as well as a 4. We saw it in Summer League. His best games was when he was a 5, which I did not expect because he is sold as a 4. And so for him to be a really good 5, I think he's the 3rd best option for the Nuggets to be the center, the backup center. Because you have Jokic, Valanciunas, and then Deron Holmes. Aaron Gordon does play a good 5, but he doesn't play a great 5. I think Aaron Gordon's talents are best used as a 4. I think that is his best skill set possible. And so you utilize that. He did a phenomenal job this past season, upping his game in the 3-point range and in the free throws. Phenomenal. We love him in the dunker spot. That is his go-to. That is his prime real estate there, is camping around the baseline and then getting those no-look passes from Jokic or Jamal Murray for the either the putback or the alley-oop. Like, either way, get him in there for that. Or even, when he steals and then on the fast break goes in for a dunk over Shamet. Just got to bring that in there, So the other thing I was going to bring up was that Tamar Bates, friend of DNVR show Tamar Bates, Scoop, as they also call him, that's his nickname, Scoop. He released a photo today showing that he is going to be wearing lucky 7. Lucky number 7 going to Tamar Bates. Very excited for that. That is an awesome number for him. Very excited to see him play. I know he didn't have a great summer league, but I do have high hopes. He is going to be a phenomenal point guard and shooting guard for the Nuggets. And I hope that he really balls out and they use him. Even if he's in the trash minutes, I hope that he shows that he can be better than expected. We also got a good shot of Brucey B wearing the number 11 jersey again. It feels like old times. Like, it definitely feels like there's a change in the air now. And just gotta make sure that Jokic and Valanciunas are staying healthy while playing EuroBasket. It'd be great to have Jokic come back happy with some kind of medal. But again, my biggest takeaway is I just don't want him hurt. I completely understand to all the EuroBasket fans out there that is most likely a more prestigious award than the NBA championship, since that one happens every year and EuroBasket happens every 4 years. But as a Nuggets fan and an NBA fan, I've gotta just prioritize that, and I really hope that whatever happens in the best for the outcome of Nuggets winning the championship. If it both happen, that's fantastic. But I just don't want anything happening to Jokic. That's all I really care about right now. So, And then the other thing too, kind of sidetrack and just kind of a little bit of a around the association kind of thing, is we got news that the Clippers are going to be investigated. Apparently they were offsetting some of their money to a fake shelter to help out their salary cap. If they don't investigate that, that would just be messed up, to be honest. That'd be very messed up if they didn't even do anything about that. Like, they got to investigate that. That is just crazy, especially when you're focused so hard on selling the most expensive product you can to your fans on several different platforms. And then you got some shady salary cap kind of hiding kind of stuff from one of your top franchises, or and I say top in the instance of selling point, because even though the Clippers have never won, they are still a very lucrative team to say the least. I mean, Steve Ballmer put in billions of dollars into that Intuit Dome. And you have Clippers, not just Clippers fans, not just in LA, but in like around the world. So it is a very lucrative team, and I just hope that they legit investigate them. And Kawhi Leonard, like, that's not right. You're gonna investigate all these other players for embezzling or in betting, right? You gotta investigate that too. But just kind of also a little note too, like, I don't know how are y'all feeling about this new season and the many different platforms that they're going to be using right now? Like, there's just too many. Like, and obviously the NBA doesn't care about fans. They don't care about ratings. They just care about having an entertaining product on as many platforms as possible. They took the money basically and they ran. And it's for 11 years. 11 years we have Amazon, Peacock, NBC. NBC and Peacock are the same thing, but they're not the same thing because they have different platforms. They have different apps. Even though it's the same company, they have different apps. So that's 3 different apps right there. Amazon, NBC, Peacock. You have ESPN, and then you have ABC. And then you have all the local affiliate channels. Like, way too many. It's way too complicated. They even brought out a guide. If you bring out a guide to watch basketball, you're making it too complicated. Keep it to 3 maximum if you have to. I mean, ideally, I would love for it just to be on 1, but there's 30 teams, and to be able to watch a lot of different games, you have to have more than just one channel where it's on. So you have a local channel, and then you have, your TNT-esque kind of channel to watch the other games. Like, I don't understand why we need 7 different channels to watch these games and have to pay $20 to $30 for a subscription for each one. That is just, it's way too much. Way too much. Let me know in the comments what you guys feel. And then apparently also they brought down these, East streaming, which was the free streaming for a lot of basketball. That was taken down recently. So a lot of they're really hitting hard on people getting free games. They want to make sure that they're making the most amount of money off of these streamings. And that's just it's really brutal. It's becoming really brutal. So, but that's pretty much it. We have Serbia versus Finland on Saturday. And pretty much, let me know in the comments, who do you think needs to step up? I think that Vasa Micic needs to step up for Serbia in order for them to win, because it cannot be on Jokic. Jokic cannot be the sole priority player to win it for Serbia. You got to give him help. I think it needs to be Micic, and I also think it needs to be Nikola Jokic. He needs to step up. As soon as Bogi got out, and now if Avramovic isn't going to be in there, you got to step up, Jovic. Like, this is the moment. You got to step up right now. But also Picic needs to play Topic. We haven't gotten much Topic in this. So let me know in the comments what you think. For Lithuania, this is exactly what I was hoping for. The team steps up as soon as Jokubaitis got injured and is out now. That was your top player. The rest of the team stepped up and had a great win. I hope it's sustainable. I hope they come back with that same kind of effort and energy, especially Valanciunas, and then hopefully they can get the win against Latvia on Saturday. So 2 big games, and we'll be hoping that the Nuggets win, because that's what Latvia and Serbia right now are Team Nuggets for me. So Team Nuggets, let's win, and we'll see then. So that's pretty much all I got for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a like and subscribe. Share it out to your friends and family. And you've been listening to CS 105.1, where I talk about sports with good vibes. We'll catch you later.